Howdy, partners, and we are live, and I have, of course, forgotten that I would like the flame wipe to transfer across the stream, but that's what happens when you redesign a UI from the ground up, folks. So just imagine that flames licked across the screen and replaced the previous image with this play UI, and my, lovely face. I am the Marshal this evening, y'all. Will Thompson. I run the League of Gentlemen Explorers this and every night. With me this evening are four friends here to lead you through, honestly, some very momentous and precipitous moments in the history of the Weird West. I dare say that should things go according to plan, so disregard all of this, the events that transpire this evening on this show will have consequences that echo across worlds, plural, for the remainder of the Deadlands timeline. That's right, that is that big of a show. Again, assuming everything goes according to plan, which it definitely will not. If this is your first time here at the League of Gentlemen Explorers, howdy, thank you for watching. We appreciate you being here. If you like what you see, you can follow. If you like it enough to subscribe, you can do so for free with Twitch Prime, right? Or Amazon Prime, excuse me. Right? That gives us $2.50 a month for each and every one of you just to, support the show, make it look prettier. If you'll notice, we have a new UI this evening. There are shell casings and ghost rock and new tooltips and banners with legible font. We have fine new character art and a fancy new animated Deadlands logo to draw the eye in with its seductive appeal. So all of that has been sponsored so far by your support, and not even just the financial support, folks, but in fact just your eyeballs, the word of mouth, every retweet, every heart, all of it. All of it is fantastic, and all of it ensures that the next broadcast we do will be better than the last moving forward. So thank you for all of that. Additionally, if it's your first time here, well, hell, you probably don't know about our Friday night show, where we take Deadlands into the post-apocalypse. It transpires 1 hour later on Friday evenings, but it advances the timeline, not 1 hour, but 200 years into the future. You can see the dark results of the machinations of the Reckoners on our world for yourself on that show, and indeed, observant viewers of both titles will notice that there's some narrative. Oh, we're getting peanut butter and the chocolate together there. There's tying up. You see, the interesting thing about the Deadlands, ladies and gentlemen, is that, sometimes people live for 200 years, right? And certainly locations stick around. So, lots of stuff to reference here and there. So stick around for that. And of course, maybe Deadlands isn't your thing and you're like, well, I like tabletop RPGs, but the only thing I like is pirate fantasy. Well, shit. It just so happens that on Tuesday night, we have a show custom tailored to you. It's our 50 Fathoms. Think Pirates of the Caribbean meets Eyes Wide Shut, right? That's the selling point there. Yeah, it's 18 and over, folks. That's right. Jellied eels are a recurring theme, and not as a foodstuff. So just bear that in mind when you think about the adventures that happen in the turquoise waters of Charybdis. But the turquoise waters of Charybdis, they have nothing to do with what's going on this evening. It's been a couple of weeks since we've last convened on the remnants of the posse that came before. I am going to recount the events of the Culver City courthouse shooting as recounted in the Culver City Soothsayer, right? It's been written, right, that 3 suspects were tried for grave robbing, right, for murder, right, for malfeasance, right, for moral impropriety, right, for possession of illegal substances, for disturbing the peace, for impeding pedestrian traffic, and for general lewdness. Upon being tried, by the Right Honorable Judge Heathcliff R. Crittenden. The defendants became most violent indeed, causing a stir. One of them lashed out and took the life of young Deputy Dangle, who had just had a son, just newborn son, now fatherless, left to the avarices of the weird West by the cruel hand of one Artemis Burke, the foul assailant that, aided surely by the devil, did ensure his wrath was met out upon the near entire assemblage of the honorable deputies. This reporter was under the impression that one of the defendants was in fact a fellow man of the journalism, but it turned out it was but a confidence artist's guise to gain their trust and get some facts that allowed them to perpetuate their heinous series of crimes, not limited to the murder of the town doctor and the misappropriation of several human organs that, this reporter would not deign to, further ponder the purpose of. And then, those two, fortunately, were swiftly dealt with by the long arm of the law in an exchange of gunfire that surely will be memorialized for coming centuries in some fashion that might be apparent in a slightly submerged monument on Friday nights, right? And other slight references. But there is already talk of it becoming a stage play. There's a bit of a folk hero ballad about the preacher that escaped. It said that God saw him through the encounter, and despite the grievous wounds that were suffered, fatally wounding his accomplices, he managed to leave nigh unscathed, the grace of God preventing it. It's also said that the, socials, it does it all? Oh my. Well, we need to flavor text that a little, but I like that. Thank you. It's also said that God saw fit to get some wild beast to assist him in his egress. There was one point where a posse had nearly tracked him and an unknown accomplice down several miles outside of town when some kind of slavering feral animal came leaping out of the bush and broke the shooting hand of the marshal that was hot in pursuit, thusly forcing them to call off the hunt. Said that the animal was some kind of half wolf, half man, fangs 4 inches long, eyes glowing hot as coals, and that maybe it wasn't the devil at all what provided the shelter from the gunfire of the good lawmen, but in fact the devil himself. But all that's conjecture. What is known is that there is currently a $500 reward out for the apprehension of the preacher. And it will be fascinating to this reporter and the victims of the slaughter of his accomplishments, their widows and orphan children, to see whether or not he meets his end at the short drop at the end of a long rope. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. Thank you. No. We advance the timeline 3 months. And we find ourselves in a campfire late at night. The mist heavy in the air. Late summer humidity kicked up now. It's mid-July in California. The heat and the bugs of the night are up and about. You gotta slap a mosquito every few seconds, and the smoke of the campfire from the moist wood is thick, but it's not enough to keep all the gnats and mosquitoes at bay. But you four have been traveling now for a couple of weeks on a broken down ghost rock powered steamboat Got an old paddle at the back and a simple ghost rock boiler. All right, mostly held together by scrap metal, good intentions, but it serviced well enough through the wilds of the Great Maze, in no small part due to the captaincy of a fellow that has referred to himself the whole time as Captain. And his man, Harlow Gibbs, that more than once caused the boat to avoid, sentient blood waves and sudden maelstorms, and was the eagle eye that spotted the sharpshooters dangling from their ghost rock collecting buckets on the plateau the 4th day in. But aside from those events, it's been a pretty quiet trip. In fact, despite each one of those being life-threatening and horrific, right, it's about as casual as progress through the Great Maze could be. It's like fate is smiling upon you. And you guys find yourself on a campsite about a third of a day's travel now from the Hellstrom Industries front in the Battle of Los Angeles. All right, now each of you headed to Los Angeles for your own reasons, all right, but have caught wind that Hellstrom Industries is promising $150 for any man that can prove he attended the Battle of Los Angeles when the city itself is captured and the Great Rail Wars are finally finished. And that's enticing. $150 is $150, especially in the chaos of the events. Certainly, you could get $150 not firing a shot. You could get $150 for a scout. You could get $150 as a journalist. There are lots of roles that you could potentially fill. But you find yourselves at a campfire a third of a day's travel downriver from the Hellstrom Industries front. And even though it's several miles away, every now and then you can hear booms on the horizon and see flashes of light, as what you assume is artillery fires off in the stalemate now that's been raging on for months outside of Los Angeles. The first push into Los Angeles found itself unsuccessful, and a series of trenches and fortifications were built, leading to an impasse as the two sides reenacted. It's like a cross between the Civil War and World War I, isn't it? Right? We have the casualties of the Civil War, but the entrenched tactics and the line after line of defense of World War I. There's been slight movements in the front here and there, but no more than a couple hundred yards in either direction over the course of months now this ground has been fought over. But again, that's all for tomorrow, isn't it? Because tonight we are talking about this campfire. And let me pull up said campfire for the audience, because we need a little campfire ambience. Yeah, I'll share it with you guys, even though we're not. Just to put it's your first example of our new map effects Wednesday night. Ooh, look at the mist. It's so misty. Look at Bill. He's all jaded at this point. He's all, map mist.
Looks strangely familiar.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is an all-new map. Look at the mist. But this is the very first map I have ever had animated mist on, and how dare you to suggest otherwise?
It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
The lighting effect behind it's amazing.
I know, it's fantastic, isn't it? It really pops. It sings to the environment as you're all sitting around. Somebody's playing a mouth harp, right? Somebody else is idly playing a fiddle. You've had a few people come and join the boat. There's a big communal pot of beans on. When out of the darkness comes an old man, a big bushy beard, hunched over, wearing overalls, old prospector's hat, bleached by the sun, stained with dirt, frayed around the edges, leaving a mule that's just covered with bags and packs and rifles and frying pans and this and that. He says, "Howdy, how do you do?"
Howdy, friend.
Howdy. I can't. Yeah. That's a mighty fine fire you got there. You mind if I sit for a spell?
What's your business here, old timer?
Well, now, My name's Jenkins. You can call me Coot now. You can call me anything but late for supper, I suppose. And he says, and he eyeballs the beans.
Awful lot of firepower you've got there. It's dangerous to invite someone over in the maze.
Well, now, it's dangerous to be wandering around the maze without that firepower, ain't it?
I suppose that's true.
You look like a fellow I figure that's had a tussle or two with the maze yourself there, mister. You know that'd be a fool's errand to wander around here without packing some iron. That and a little bit of good luck.
One at a time.
His eye casts over the man he's speaking with, and he sees a wizened fellow, crow's feet, beard going salt and pepper. The most noticeable feature, aside from the scowl and weathering on his face, would probably be the absence of his right arm and the light scarring that dapples that side of his face. Let me pull up. Here we go. Boom. And he says, "What's your story there, partner? You look like you've been through the ringer."
Well, that's about right. All right. Well, if you're not sure that I'm trustworthy of any man who wanders up, but go ahead and take yourself a seat.
Well, thank you. How about a serving of them beans there? They smell mighty fine.
Food's awful hard to come by in the maze.
I reckon so. I could trade you for a story. Story's even harder to come by.
Harlow, we can't be bad.
Yeah, we'll be all good and Christian and share the beans here.
Well, thank you there, partner. Mighty appreciative. He produces a tin and a little cup out of nowhere and ladles a serving of beans in and saddles down comfortably on a log. His mule just sits there, not hitched to nothing.
You could say I've been through the ringer. Served in the Union Navy out here in California ever since the Great Quake.
Oh, yeah?
Left a couple years back due to family troubles after the Battle of the Little Bighorn.
Oh, yeah.
Well, since then I've been guiding folks through what don't have the common sense to head back east.
Well, now, not to put too fine a point on it here, I suppose my manners might be gone a spell what with my time alone here, but what happened to that arm there, partner?
Suppose you're right about them manners.
All right. Fair's enough. Sometimes some memories is best forgotten. Yeah, I got a little something to help you forget a spell, he says, and produces a flask.
Well, friend, you should have led with that.
Yeah, there you go now. He casts his gaze around the group. Alright, and it falls on the preacher, who is responsible for the cup of beans he is currently eating. And he says, "Well there, mister, I appreciate your kindness. That's a rare thing out here in the maze."
Well, us Christians got to look out for each other, and I never deny a man his meal.
Oh, that's right, us Christians. Yes, sir.
I just assume everyone's Christian.
Praise Jesus. Yeah, that's right.
So, what you searching for out here, old timer?
Well, you know, a bit of this and that, a bit of ghost rock, a bit of a story, a bit of a mystery wrapped in an enigma, surrounded in a conundrum, if you would. It's complicated, I figure. Right now, I'm mostly just looking for beans.
Well, there ain't no story to be had here, but you're welcome to the beans.
Oh, I get the feeling there's quite a few stories to be had here, he says, casting his gaze over the gaunt fellow. Are you currently wearing your sunglasses at night?
I am a 80s trope, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting, kind of
Thank you,
just
there.
listening, and been writing text in my book in front of the campfire. I'll slowly look up at him. Can I help you?
Well, I was just curious if you had a story there, mister. You look like a fellow what has a story.
These books, I touch all the books that are sitting around me on the log I'm on. They have 1,000 stories, but you want mine?
Reckon?
I slowly take off my glasses and set my book aside. Currently, I'm a war correspondent down this way from Seattle.
Oh,
Here
yeah?
to cover.
Because of the Mexicans?
No. I'm here to cover the reckoning about to happen between Hellstrom and the Los Angeles.
Oh, even I heard about that, and it's been a minute since I've seen a paper. Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed not to, he says, looking over at the flashes on the horizon.
Well, there's that. Then for my own personal discoveries, I'm here to write a book. I understand there's a lot of religion down this way in Los Angeles.
That is definitely a factual statement, mister. There's lots of religion, both old time and other, what to be found down that way. I don't cotton to it much myself.
I could speak further on it, but until people warm to my ways, a lot of my words are seen as blasphemy.
Well, you wouldn't be the only feller now what accused of blasphemy around here. Hell.
Give him a smirk. You want to hear line 1 of the new prophet?
His face kind of, when somebody tries to hand you like a watchtower or something, he's gonna pause and remember his politeness, and he go,
You wanted a story?
Sure, I reckon, yeah, that'd be proper. Here we could have some prayer over these victuals.
Excellent. This is derived from Roman 8:38. I open a book, and for I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor anything else in all creation and science, will be able to separate us from our Lord save the difference we made of his word, the difference towards our brothers and sisters. That is the work of the devil and the corruption of the one true God.
Well, now that is a mouthful, is it not? I suppose I agree in spirit, if not letter. You need to stay away from that new science there, Hiram.
Yes, new science will find its place among the religious texts one day.
And with that bit of awkwardness, he's gonna scrape the bottom of his tin of beans real intently for a moment, like he needs to focus on that spoon, getting that last bit of sauce, and he is going to cast his gaze over to the final fellow sitting around the fire, who is a bit finely dressed for a fellow around a campfire a few miles from a war front. I imagine probably fidgeting with a token of sorts. But what's your story there, mister?
Oh, I'm just wandering about, coming out west to see what all the hubbub's about. Try my luck out here.
Try your luck at...
Life, friend. It's all a game.
Yeah, well, it's a mighty hard one out here in the maze. You decide to come out here and play in the big leagues.
I just followed my nose.
That makes sense. There is strange happenings afoot around here if you're the kind of fellow that finds himself inclined to strangeness, Grayson.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't recall giving you my name, but
I must have overheard that when you were chatting when I was coming up. I apologize there, partner.
what was your name, good sir?
Like I said, Jenkins, Coot Jenkins. Most people just call me Coot. You know, because of my strange ways. You get out here and by yourself for a while and you forget your manners. I should have. Yep.
I imagine that's how it goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. It is. When you get on in your years like myself, you've seen a lot of strange happenings, you know. So, coming up here and acting a little strangely is probably just a result of what that strangeness I've been exposed to recently.
Sounds like you got some stories to tell.
Oh, I got stories you wouldn't believe, partner. I got stories you wouldn't believe.
Why don't you tell us one?
Maybe I ought to try.
Yeah, I reckon I could. There's a story about a group of fellas that were destined to influence fate beyond their expectations and reckonings both. Being happened upon by an elderly fellow that seemed like he didn't know his ass from his elbow, speaking frankly, right? And they were gregarious enough in spirit to share some victuals with the fellow. So he thought before he wandered back off into the darkness that he might impart a bit of passing wisdom upon you fellers. That sometimes now, enemies, they seem like allies. And allies, now they're actually enemies. And in the coming days, I just get a sense that you fellows might find yourself in a situation what imparts some feelings of reproach and will leave you at a moral crossroads. And I just think you fellas should be aware that there's a good path and a bad path, but the good path ain't always the easy and clear one, if you understand. He offers his flask around the group.
Well, that's strange. Pretty sure I've heard that one before.
Yeah, I reckon you might have. You've been around here long enough. It's the kind of advice what gets its way into your ear and stays. But, if you fellers are done chatting it up, I believe I'll find myself on my way to my own campsite. I'm a man that likes to rest away from the rigors of conversation, as it were. I do appreciate both your companionship and, of course, your fine beans there. Compliments to the chef, whosoever he may be.
Well, good luck to you, Coot, and whatever you do.
Yeah, good luck to you folks as well, and stay the course now.
Did you happen to see my roll there?
Oh, God. So, this guy is like one of the most arcane things you have ever detected. Ever. I mean, like, if you were like, what's this guy's story? And you were like, let's see his aura, right? Like, you cannot see him. He is riddled with the hunting grass. Just riddled. I mean, it is 100%. He is, yeah.
I do look around at every member of the party as well.
Yeah, I mean, Prophet, certainly. So, Preacher's kind of weird, right? Oh, well, thank you there. Traitor. Yeah, no shit. I don't think, the blessed powers actually show the same way. It's a whole different, he's not the source of the power at all. He's just a dude sitting there right now. Now, if he was calling down a miracle, it would be different, right? But in the moment, he's just an old dude sitting around a campfire, right? So like, but Hiram, I mean,
Yeah.
he lights up like fucking Christmas, but certainly a darker energy, more akin to the ones that you recall from your first dealings. The first couple of times you gambled, you know, when you actually talked to the entity on the other side. That's what Hiram smells like. Gibbs, nah. Nah, he's the least arcane thing you have ever seen.
I got something I'd like to do as he starts making his way back
Mhm.
to us. I'm going to go into my trance that allows me to shift my vision into the hunting grounds to see the presence of evil and see what lies beyond the veil of
Yeah.
angels and demons.
Mm-hmm.
Focus real hard on that.
Apologies for the rough introduction there, Coop. It's
What?
can't be too careful.
What I understand, of course, you know, you can't be too careful. Exactly. Out here in the, you know, for all you know, I was setting up an ambush, what with some fellers, but I suspect at this point you can see I'm a my bit old to be shooting on 4 fellas packing iron, so I'm gonna go meander on my way and bid you adieu.
Mm.
Let me see. Profit. Powers.
It's under edges and hindrances, which for some reason didn't get ported over to the new system. I'm working on that right now.
We will just assume that it has happened for the expedience of the narrative. That's weird, yeah.
Yeah,
Creatures
I'm
all
working
came
on.
over. He's got all his powers.
I'm fixing it. I don't know
That's
what
weird.
happened.
Alright, but at any rate, he does light up, right? But like the antithesis of the he has the hunting grounds on him, right? Like if you were tracking like his scent, right? His footprints would leave hunting grounds, but he is like anti hunting grounds. He is the exact polar opposite. Your mother recoils a little when
So he's like an angel to me.
yeah, kind of like an angel to you. That would be, yeah, sure. That's an analog that would track.
Give him a blessing as he leaves.
And sure enough, he wanders off into the night. That is a strange encounter with a fellow with a strange parable as we sit around the campfire here. Alright, and think on it. This might bring to memory another time in your life when a stranger intervened and said or did something that had some kind of momentous occurrence that changed the course of your destiny. If any of you would like to spend this dramatic interlude recounting such an instance, you could earn yourself a Benny, what before tucking in for the night and preparing for the rigors of the next few days.
As I think of this, I feverishly pull out my New Testament and start documenting this. In my eyes, an angel imparting wisdom, and I feel
The angel coot. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Coot 1223. I then start writing down all of his words of wisdom. I think back to what set me on this Purdue path, and I start thinking of the avenging angel of Mormondom
Mm-hmm.
and putting me before the face of God and allowing me to be reborn to see my new path. And I thank him for that. In that way, being released from the mortal coil and being reborn again showed me and unveiled the mysteries of the world. In fact, without him, I would not be able to see through the veil of mortal man and witness what I just witnessed. An
So,
angel walking through the darkness.
the fact that Porter Rockwell came to you in Culver City and told you he was taking you back to Salt Lake City, got you outside of town, and immediately garroted you to death, where you woke up hearing the voice of your dead mother. That was totes great.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think. Well,
Nice.
it wasn't great, but it was Providence.
It was one of the trials you had to go through, like maybe one of the passions of Christ, right? You had to be
Exactly.
reborn. Yeah, all right, I'm feeling it. It tracks.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, fantastic. Excellent. Good recounting of both callback and stranger intervention.
I think Harlow's probably been hitting the ball a little bit hard ever since the old Jenkins left.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly goes, gentlemen, a toast. John Brown. God. When he said about his crusade on Harper's Ferry, I was a different man than I am today. My family was living a cursed legacy. And while this war has torn apart this country and my family to boot, God, I'm just thankful for the part I had to play in defending the Union. Had it not been for my visit up to his hanging at the count of my brother Virgil, I do not know what side I would have been on, and I might have been thrown in with the traitorous bastards. Apologies, gentlemen. It's been a long night. To John Brown.
To John Brown.
Here.
Grayson raises his glass.
Can I give 2 bennies for that? That was... Boom. I could, but I'm not gonna. Fantastic. Oh, that was great. Oh. Anybody else have a story about how a stranger intervened at one point?
I do indeed.
All right.
Well, am I actually telling this to them? Or
Yeah.
am I-
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I once found myself in the belly of a beast. And I mean that more literally than you might think. I met a man, been living there for a few weeks at that point. Scars covered his whole body, eating parasites. He's a very gruff and disgusting man. And to tell you the truth, I ain't like him that much. But after the trials and tribulations that we found ourselves through, he showed me that an ultimate sacrifice to defeat a great evil is a very redeeming quality in a man. And even though he had paradise, and I, myself, took it from him, he never looked at me sideways, gave himself up. His name was Cain, and while that name ain't much to my liking, he deserves a toast himself.
That's right.
To Cain.
That's a game.
To Cain.
No, that is a comforting notion. I've had a couple of men whom I was associated with, what on barges and whatnot, get swallowed up by maze dragons, and I would be most obliged if they were just rolling around inside instead of being chewed up.
There's a good many stories about Cain in my books.
I was going to talk about defeating a great serpent, but we killed it in one hit, so I left that out.
Yeah, you did. My custom designed tapeworm wildcard boss that they one shot. Now, so loyal viewers of the show know exactly what's being referenced here, but people new to the channel might not understand that he's literally referencing the time that he was shrunken down and put inside the corpse of a dead dude, right, and sent around his body fighting off a parasitic infection, where he met a fellow with a robot arm that was horrifically scarred that had been living in there for weeks off of the meat of the parasite worms inside of it. And they had to go around kickstarting all of the engineering devices in the brain and the heart and finally exiting from its rectum to get the thing started. And the combination of Ghost Rock and Dead Person Dookie, of course, created shit golems, and it was quite a spectacle. It's actually one of my favorite things I've ever done to players. But yeah, excellent callback and a Benny to you. Last but certainly not least, Grayson, do you have anything you'd like to share? You're a little standoffish, little.
Well, I guess I can share a story with you guys. It's not going to be full of wisdom and grimness as some of y'all have had, but I was in this North Texas town for a little bit, and I'm a somewhat of a gambling man, and I've played a couple hands, maybe a few nights, and yeah, if you get on a good streak, man, people don't like you that much anymore. And I remember I won this man's horse. He was not too happy. Now, mind you, I can't ride a horse. I mean, I can get on a horse and hopefully it takes me somewhere, but I can't get up on its back and do lassos and stuff like that. But I get this guy's horse, and as soon as I untether it, it just starts pushing me. And I mean, like I said, I don't really say that I've got a way with animals, but I resisted at first, and then the horse just put its head directly into my chest and pushed me. And so I decided, oh, let's go. I got on the horse, and the horse just took me out of town. I rode for, I don't know, I guess about a day. Don't have nothing on me, just the clothes I was wearing. And find this little camp, relax for a bit, move on my way, make it to another small settlement about, I don't know, half a day's ride out. And there was all this hubbub going on about some town that was just a little east to where the whole saloon burned down. Same saloon I was staying in. It's pretty amazing. I traded that horse, got some stuff, and well, that's history.
Saw a man about a horse. Excellent. Excellent, thank you. Great. So, like, I gotta say, that was actually, like, that is more words strung together than we got out of Artemis the entire 3 months he survived on the cow. I was shocked, actually, at your verbosity. Thank you. Thank you. Definitely.
I do consider myself a role player.
Right, boom, all of a sudden, I was like, wait, what? Like, he's still talking. I hadn't planned for that. Thank you, Grayson. All right, guys. Well, with that established, bennies have been passed out, and the moon is high in the sky. The sun is long since absconded, and it is time for as peaceful a slumber as can be attained on the banks of a muddy trough on one of the offskirts of the northern channel of the Great Maze. Johnny, why would it not grab your tokens? I dislike that. 1 second here. I do some more show prep that I already did. But not that you need tokens for anything. I don't know why I'm even describing token. I mean, again, it's a peaceful night. You guys wake up the next morning, and the last couple of hours of travel by steamboat, why no less, screeching and smoky and perilous than those that came before. You finally open up into the northern channel of the Great Maze, just north of Los Angeles itself, which is one of the safest and most mapped and networked parts of the entirety of the Great Maze. And you do see a variety of boats traveling back and forth as you make your way to the landing of what is clearly the Hellstrom Industries front. There are a few reasons it is clear. First of all, there are several of the Wasatch rail trains, right? And some of them designs that you have never before seen, with strange protrusions on the tops in brass, right? There is a semicircle of them along the back of the front, which now stretches off into the horizon. I mean, it must be 15 miles long, sometimes 6, 8 trenches deep to either side, encompassing 2, 3 miles deep. And it is a moonscape of craters and serpentine wire and, the tank traps and, corpses here and there. It's been raining for several days at this point, and the whole affair is a muddy hellscape as you make your way to where they are commissioning and assigning people. Initially, each of you is given a armband that is black with HI imprinted on it in bold white text. Told to wear it at all times around the camp because it was how the automaton sentries identified you with their friend or foe tag. So it was of the utmost importance that at all times you prominently display the armband on your upper right, I guess in his case, left arm. And it's several hours of you milling around a general reception area in a sea of canvas tents, right, with giant automatons lumbering about and men in white lab coats tinkering with bits of indescribable machinery before your lot's called up, and each of you is asked how you intend to function in the service of Hellstrom Industries at the front.
Oh, I'll start. Well, I am a war correspondent and will be documenting with my camera, and I'm also a skilled healer.
Well, frankly, I don't give two shits about your role as a war correspondent if you're a skilled healer. I mean, we need you in the surgical tents. That's... do you have a medical degree? First off, what's your name? Let's get this established. What's your name?
Johnny Prophet.
Your name... Your mother named you Johnny Prophet.
Oh, my last name is Prophet, and Jonathan is my first name.
Jonathan Prophet. And you're a skilled healer?
Yes.
But you don't have... Where's your medical training from?
It was from my father, who was formerly a veterinarian, but then opened a practice in pediatrics.
So you don't have a degree, but you've worked with farm animals and children?
Yes.
Good enough. You can be a surgeon's assistant. Fantastic. Scroll it down. Here's your lot number. You'll be called up.
I take it.
Next.
Howdy.
Howdy. Name?
Stevens.
Stevens. First name?
Steven.
Your mother named you Steven Stevens?
She had that sort of humor about her.
PH or V?
V. Thank you.
And excellent. And experience in service?
Well, I ain't too terrible with this here shotgun, but I'm thinking maybe I could give the folks out there their last rites as they lay dying and screaming in the field.
Oh, you a preacher?
At times, yes.
Excellent, excellent. You have a Bible?
Indeed, I do.
Which denomination's last rites do you find yourself familiar with?
What did I say before? Damn it.
Baptist?
Baptist?
Baptist.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you are. Yeah.
There it is.
Excellent. Excellent.
Folks, I'm not actually a Baptist.
We'll get you in the chaplain corps. Here's your number. You'll be called up.
Thank
Next.
Master at Arms Harlow Gibbs.
Master at Arms Harlow Gibbs. Harlow Gibbs. Retired. Union?
Yep.
Oh, excellent. What was your rank when you left?
Master at Arms.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's not just a title, that's a rank. It's been a long day, sir. Thank you, yes.
No worries.
Excellent, fantastic. Well, you are due for another $25, sir, should you accept it, given your prior military experience. But I am noticing, sir,
You ain't gotta be coy.
well, the arm, sir, if I'm being frank, that might be an impediment. Well, now,
Can I quick draw my revolver?
yeah, give me a shooting roll.
Okay.
Do a little fancy twirl and all that.
No.
Oh!
Oh, I sure can.
Oh my God!
That's what you get.
Well, this character was fun.
Go.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. I hope you lose that hand.
Go ahead and roll damage on yourself.
Yep. What do you think it was set to? My pistol or my shotgun?
Oh, well, I'm hoping it was your pistol now because I just finished that character art.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, that's not terrible. Hey, a little Matt Grape shot there. Let's drag that over Mr. Gibbs. And it goes off, grazing your leg, and of course making you stop dead. Yeah, so I'm gonna need you to holster that there, Pard.
I've seen this man. He just had an off day. Let him try that again. Maybe empty your gun this time.
Yeah, why don't we try that without one in the chamber there?
Don't shoot if there ain't one in the chamber here.
I think, yeah, Master of Arm, more like. Am I right?
I vote
Rule
that he
number
gets
one.
Benny for saying he's the Master of Arms,
That's
critically failing and only having one arm.
Alright, no, that's actually fair. That's fair. It's not usually by committee, but I missed that.
It was too good.
Yeah, it was too good, yeah. Yeah, alright there. Well, one of you gentlemen want to make sure that gun's empty? I think we need not need a range marshal here.
I'll take a look if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hand off my gun by its barrel to Mr. Grayson.
Grayson will go ahead and empty those cartridges into his hand, hand it back to him.
Make sure you get the shell as well.
That's right, yeah, as the underbarrel. Which, oh shit, I forgot that. You see, when you said if it was my shotgun, I was not occurring to me in the moment that you had the underbarrel shotgun round on the... So, like, we're just gonna go with the pistol. We're still gonna go with the pistol, but... Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, one arm, one leg. Just... I'm asymmetrical as fuck! Alright. Alright, here we go.
Go ahead and roll bigger now, you know.
No, we're gonna need the shooting roll.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Here we go.
Oh man.
Oh my god, I saw the one there for a second, gang, and I nearly...
Ain't enough.
Yeah, no, it catches on the holster, and it goes, partner, now, I'm not trying to impugn what you might have been on sunnier shores of yesteryear, but,
He was drinking heavily last night. I can assure you this man is...
The reason he lost his arm.
Not that that's a habit.
Not that it's a habit that he's been drinking. How about you give me a persuasion roll there, and add a -1.
I'm good at those.
Oh, and Grayson, why don't you give me a flat persuasion roll to see if you assist? Oh my God. Well, you can't assist that.
Are you kidding me?
You can't. You can't. Oh, and he fails that too. So Grayson's like, no, really, I swear, he's totally stable. And Harlow throws up a little bit of last night's drink on himself with the critical failure of the. It ain't habitual. Like.
All right. Listen up.
These.
Listen up, you yuppie son of a bitch. I've been in the maze since it was California. I worked the Gulf of Mexico before that. I know how my way around a battlefield. I know my way around the gun. And I can be paid for my damn work, all right? I've seen a hell of a lot more out here than you have. Can I make a top roll on that, please?
You can, but a hell of a lot more bottoms of a bottle is his retort to that there as you give me the...
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, finally a success. And he says, you know what, mister? If you want to die out there, it's your own damn business. Here, infantry. Boom, here's your number. You'll be called up. Have a good day.
Goddamn son of a bitch.
Next. And now I'm in a sour mood. What's your name, mister?
That was a what? Oh.
A.F. Grayson, sir.
A.F. Your mama named you A.F.?
No. I'm just giving you my first
Just give me...
last name.
I'm required to ask you right now if you are currently a man at large.
I am not, sir.
You are not. You are not wanted in any state, county, or province of these United States currently, to the best of your knowledge?
To the best of my knowledge, I am not, sir.
But you are, in fact, giving me just initials?
I gave you my last name.
Alright, he is Grayson as fuck. Alright, and service and experience?
I can shoot.
Thank you, Friday.
I'm not going to give you a demonstration given the hilarity preceding me.
Well, now I'm afraid, given your insistence that your buddy there could shoot, I might need a demonstration from you as well. I mean, your word being, what is good as the front of that man's shirt?
I understand. Grayson will go ahead and slowly draw his pistol.
Yeah.
He will open the gate with his thumb, flip it. He pulls out each individual cartridge, tosses those back in his pocket, puts it back in the holster. All right, we're all safe, right?
You tell me, Mr. Shit. You're the one with the iron.
Why is there a...
Because you're carrying too much currently.
I'm actually not.
Okay.
Okay.
You unholster the pistol deftly, and he goes, all right, I mean, you unloaded the thing all fancy like there, and that is a mighty fancy shooting iron, so as long as it ain't just for glitz and glam, what like your cravat, I figure we'll get you on there. So good at shooting infantry it is. All right, here's your number. You'll be called up.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent.
He walks away loading his revolver.
Now, none of you all are camped separate like, as none of you all made it into the officers' corps, despite a variety of experiences. So you all managed to bed down in the sea of tents and a sea of also filth and mud. Now, people have been camped here for some time, and this is before the day of, like, modern sewage, right? The Great Maze is just a ways away, and they have been latrines dug, but they've been dug and filled and dug and filled and dug and filled. And between the blood and the muck and the horses and the livestock and the ghost rock fumes, the whole place is just a filthy, soggy affair. I don't know if you've ever been to the last day of a music festival when it rained. Right, but we're talking that times like 4. It's the worst right now. And you find the accommodations barely tolerable. There are provisions, right, that are provided. You get the hardtack and beans twice a day, right, plus an allotment of alcohol, given that you shouldn't drink the brackish water, which seems to never turn safe to drink, no matter how long you boil it. Some of the fellows in lab coats you have overheard as they wander around the tents attending to their various duties have gone so far as to say that you can even condense it, collect the vapor, and it is still not fit to drink. They have never seen anything like it. So most everybody is half hammered all the time in the several days leading up to the calamitous events to come. You get assigned to your various duties, which, wow, look at that, conspicuously close to each other, right? They tend to put buddies together. This is before that World War I, whoopsie doodle, we lost a whole town, maybe we shouldn't do that anymore, in a morale unit, right? And you're instructed loosely in the use of simulated firearms. Everybody's meant to bring their own to this affair. If you were put in the infantry corps, it's because you have your own infantry supplies. If you're a healer, it's because you could heal, right? You're getting paid for this, right? You're not getting hardly equipped. You get an armband and the instructions to follow the instructions of anybody whose armband has more stars on it than yours at all times. It's going to be chaos in the calamitous final assault. And the tensions in the camp are high. Alright, there is a lot of people itching for action. There are some boys now that have this 1,000-yard stare. They've been out on that front a few times, right? And haven't been cycled out near enough. Watched a lot of people die for very few gains, yardage-wise, and are sick of this whole thing. Some of these boys are fresh recruits looking to earn a name for themselves. And when you look across the battlefield, the allied forces of your enemy are quite varied. Let me go ahead and actually pull up the reference here. Although this is the second Battle of Los Angeles, I think that the read-in for the first Battle of Los Angeles is still pretty good if we just add several miles of trenches. Now, if you've watched this show long enough, ladies and gentlemen, you know that the first Battle of Los Angeles here resulted in just a slaughter. It was my first TPK, and it was, they were really confident running in, guys. They're, let's do it, gang! They were so bright. Only one person was here for it, still in the posse, and it was a goddamn massacre. So that's not gonna happen this time, though, because we've figured it out, right? But here we go.
We're all set here.
Yeah. It is like I said, 3 days before some bigwig up the ladder determines that the weather is just right for the assault, right? And you guys are arrayed in a corps of a couple dozen guys, right? And given the objective, right, the combat is going to start. It's going to be artillery for several hours to soften the target, and then you guys are just going to walk right on through. Alright, it's not easy peasy, super simple. They've got these new precision ghost rock shells, right? They could knock the ass off a fly, and they're gonna send them raining down on these boys. In Los Angeles, shit, you will be eating dinner yourself in Reverend Grimm's Hall by nightfall, is the, the official line. Anybody with an ounce of reckoning and recollection with experience with combat knows that's a whole heap of mess of bullshit, Like, it is just a cratered moonscape out there littered with pieces of men and faded aspirations, right? Like, if artillery was gonna do it, it probably would have done it at some point in the last several months. But
Oh, Grayson,
Yes.
you didn't serve in the war, right?
No.
Let me give you a piece of advice. Whenever time comes, go on up into the city there. That should be your objective. is getting into the city. They've been talking a lot about, oh, make sure you listen to your brass. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about shooting the guardian angels going against you. Worry about getting across that field.
Sounds good.
This ain't our fucking fight.
It's just so different from Carlisle. I'm just like,
Yeah,
wait.
I like him way better.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. It's just like, this is our first experience with him. This is my first experience with a new character with you, and it is like, holy shit, night and day. I'm like, Carlisle, what's happening right now? But like that courthouse changed you, yes, because you are 6 feet under and died of acute lead poisoning. But
I'll quote Jack over there and say I consider myself a role player.
Indeed. With that established, you guys are assembled on the front. You have about a mile of moonscape to get across to the enemy lines lying between you, with a thin ribbon of a cratered creek filled with the remnants of men and horses and scattered scraps of automaton and busted vehicles and bits of the initial railhead fortress that was constructed months ago to act as the initial fortification point, but has since become just a smoldering ruin with green fires burning here and there. Gibbs definitely
Can I
needs
have
that.
played a quick game of solitaire before we embarked upon this journey?
Yeah.
Also, I prepare them each a healing potion. Take with them in their pocket.
Oh, excellent.
And
That
hand it
is a
off
cool.
to each of you.
Why don't we get those rolls?
Cool.
I'm gonna spend a penny on
Power
this.
points, that makes sense. Just do your pre-battlefield prep. I actually need to reset bennies right now because the fate chip bag is. I don't understand why they're. You can only have so many fate chips. I can have however many I want. It doesn't specify like there are only 42 bennies anywhere in Savage Worlds, but Fantasy Grounds is like, nah, bro, 30 or whatever. Bums me out. How many benny are we got? 5, 5, 4, and 4. Okay.
Potions. I can make half as many extra power points and potions, and okay. Cool.
I accidentally just closed Fantasy Grounds. With that, we're going to take our mid-show break. Thank you for watching so far. It's windowed for the first time ever, and the setup button is literally right next to the closed Fantasy Grounds, so I have to get used to Unity myself. But we're right at the mid-show point anyway, ish. And that's actually, cinematically, it's right before the, the climactic speech and all that. So, please stick around. If you like what you see, along with all the amateur hour hijinks like closing the program we use to broadcast the game, then stick around for the second half. Thanks for watching, everybody. Look at that flame wipe, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Almost like a professional show.
Just got a sip of water before coming back.
It's we have these dust storms right now, and that and all the illicit smoke. But thank you for joining us as we return here. Dang, I didn't even look at it from memory. I aligned the screen because, to my horror, I recalled that I needed to have the play screen up to resolve the Benny and wound placement on the screen, and I nailed it from memory. That's how long I've been doing this, even though it was a new UI. I mean, a couple of them are slightly askance, but they're all still legible. That's the Will Thompson guarantee there. But thank you for joining us and sticking with us through our technical difficulties. It was most technical. The system error. I tried to avert it, much to my horror. It still happened here. Let me reassign these bennies here. I'm going to gather all chips, and we are going to manually reassign them because apparently that is required for them to track. So we had 4, 5, 4, 5, 5, and 4.
Somebody needs a legendary chip.
Right, yeah, no, we don't actually use legendary chips anymore because they're like... And then, of course, the Marshall's Fate chips. How could we forget?
And 26. Got it.
Boom. Excellent. So, wait, 5 is what I should have. There we go. Because somebody gave me one. That was very nice, Toa. Or Ryan? I think it might have been Ryan this time. It was Ryan because he's a traitor. That's right. But with all of that fixed, welcome back. It is, the preparations have begun for the Battle of Los Angeles. Unfortunately, our good doctor was rolling to construct some potions. Right, and the very first potion roll he rolled, thinking it was just going to be a matter of course, right? We'll just get this knocked off cam, so I can have them prepared and we're ready to go, right? Guess what it was, guys?
28.
20.
No, don't. Well, first of all, no, right? Wrong system, definitely. You were 27 off. There, closest guess, because a natural 20 isn't a thing, that doesn't exist. Oh yeah, no, they critically failed again, gang. And so, we have a weird scientist now, who has critically failed on a weird science roll, right, which is, that's a bit of a coinkydink now, isn't it, right? So, I'm not a repeat, one shot and you're done, man, that's it, you gotta be here live for it. No, we're actually... I have a associate now that is making sure the VODs get transcribed, my God, to YouTube 48 hours after they premiere here. So you can go to YouTube and watch this all over and over again to your heart's content. You can subscribe to us all over again over there. If we get to like 1,000 subscribers, they'll go through all my videos and demonetize them because I say shit fuck. So, there's a ton of a point. Let's all right, we're going to clean up the show for YouTube, actually, guys. I know you've come to appreciate our wild spirit, but I think moving forward, it's going to be dookie intimacy.
Raid Shadow Legend.
Raid Shadow. This video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah.
You don't run, you're freaking dead.
Remember to smash that subscribe button and hit that bell. No, God, I hate it. I just hate it. But apparently it gets eyes on this. Oh, well, thank you for that, new sub. They very much so enjoy when you rage. And I have it positioned so far down on the screen that it just said new sub and blocked out their name.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Put your name in the chat there, whoever that was, and I will thank you personally. But we have this critical fail on the weird science roll. You know, that's awkward. Uh-oh, that was Friday, I think. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I need to adjust that widget. Thank you for demoing that for me here. Here, I will move it up. And now all we need is somebody else to sub or donate, and we will see if it functions, because there isn't like a test function I can use. Come on, move up.
So somebody just sub real quick, just so we can see.
Well, don't actually sub right now, because it's not moving, because it hates me. Streamlabs, guys, I really... Even better in Fantasy Grounds. There we go. Now it should be legible. Now it's too high up, I bet you. But that's fine. We'll figure it out eventually. Somebody will do something that'll trigger it. And we'll be super excited. But again, back now all the way to this critical failure on a weird science roll to construct a potion. Now, hard-boiled, that means that the whole thing, you know, there's a burst template explosion. You know, that's just standard reading, right? But it's been argued narratively that it would make sense for me to take one of those potions at random and assign them to one of the people he hands it out to and have it do the opposite effect. So, what's the peanut gallery think? What do we think, guys? Does he just blow up when he's trying to do it, or do I give somebody an anti-healing potion at random? No, it'll be at random. I'm not that guy.
I'll say as a classic martial that's how I would do it.
Yeah, no, it does. It does have more classic flair. I know we're playing the Savage Worlds, but that's exactly how I'm going to do it. So we have one critical failure potion that is going to be an unhealing potion. Let's get those rolls. Let's bang the rest of them bad boys out here.
It's
And
be real fun.
Yeah,
you can
you said
randomly
one.
give it to one of the teleports too, and we don't know if it's a healing or a teleport. It's just it could
Oh,
just
God.
be evil.
well, you did declare it was a healing potion, so hopefully.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, we got another one's good.
Mm-hmm.
Another
Excellent.
one's good. Okay, so 2 healings are legit. 1 is bad, and then we got 2 teleport potions.
Okay.
That one's with a raise, so that one is even further teleport. And one's a dud.
Excellent. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to roll the random number generator on my phone. Because now you can see my rolls.
I would have liked to have seen what an anti-teleport potion does.
Yeah, no, again, like one of you fuses halfway into like a barrier and just sits there twitching, saying, "Kill me," you know. While you try and figure out how to use a strand of barbed wire for a urethra, you know. It's just, you know, it doesn't play well, an anti-teleport potion in mine, because the Deadlands is horrific, right? Like,
Yep.
I don't envision a teleport potion as being awesome either. There's a couple of ways it plays out in my mind. Either you're ripped apart on a molecular level and reassembled somewhere else, or it's literally just a walk through the Deadlands. And 10 feet in the real world can be how you can spend 7 months in the Deadlands, you come out with white hair, you know. Oh, I've seen things in my soul, you know, like, so, yeah, maybe not, but the anti-healing potion, that'll be, oh, yeah, just teleport you naked, that could be fun, too. But,
So actually,
yeah, I have established that. You're giving everybody here a potion, are you keeping one for yourself?
no, I can heal myself. This is in case they're away from me.
Yeah.
Each one of them gets one. And then I actually, without a failure, know that one of the teleports was a dud. So I'm going to give the teleport with the raise to the preacher, and I say, unlike that one time I whispered to you in the jail, don't fuck this one up. And I hand it off to you.
I'll just nod.
It's a 15 foot, I believe, instead of 10 because it has a raise.
That's a bold move, Cotton. That is a bold move. But with that established, you guys have been convened to the front of the front. And since I reset... oh, wait, nope.
I had rolled I I'd made a roll before the
Oh
break.
Lord, what was it? I'm sorry.
It was hunch. I got an 8, I believe.
Oh shit.
Might have been a 7.
Give me a second here. You guys have the upper hand. Today's going to end well for the forces of Hellstrom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, as to whether or not the day is going to end well for you specifically, it's just a hunch. But Hellstrom, you read the cards. It looks real good. That being said, the weather has not improved at all. Let me pull it out with a bow. You are assembled on a slight hill slope above the moonscape that leads to the City of Angels, which is built awkwardly in a series of concentric rings, all that fade in around a massive black central cathedral reaching into the sky like a skeletal hand. It's alleged that it's a place of religious repute and scholarly... What's this? Oh, shit. Scholarly pursuit for those of a religious nature. That the Reverend Grimm himself serves a feast that all are welcome to every Sunday, should he make his way through the, his meandering sermons. And many people take him up on his offer on account of the famine that is widespread outside of the city. Entrance to the city is normally a very closely guarded affair. There are massive stone obelisks erected like single pillars of, a Stonehenge outside of each of the main thoroughfares to the city that are guarded. There is a toll or a acceptance of religious piety upon entering. The whole city is governed by theological law and patrolled by guardian angels that function as a moral police of sort, making sure that the whole place is good and proper Christian, you see. All of you, despite the grisly visage of the battlefield, get a feeling of calm and good when you behold the cathedral off in the horizon down the slope across the way through the mist of the battlefield and the rain. It feels like a holy place, right? Like there's despite the thick clouds, like a ray of light hits it, just so. With the exception of Preacher, right? There is something foul and unholy about this place. The whole place claws at the back of your mind with a perverse indecency. It seems like a thin facade of Christendom hiding something foul and sinister. The spires of the fingers of the cathedral reach up into the sky, and each one seems like an end of a demonic appendage. The light spilling from within has a strange red tint, right? There's something just unsettling about this whole place that chills you specifically to the core. Wait, did you got Benny's? Do you not have adventure cards now?
We do.
Okay. Excellent. They have their bennies back. They don't have it. Yeah, alright. Excellent. But, Hellstrom learned his lesson from the first battle of Los Angeles, where he stood atop the Great Intentions, and a marksman from the opposing side managed to strike him center mass in the chest. Were it not for his miraculous ghost steel armor, it certainly would have felled him, being a fatal wound that, would have made him a martyr, of course, for the cause and all of that. But this time, he's giving a speech ensconced in a shimmering like plasteel bubble. It's transparent like glass, but like a circular dome. And he's on a platform atop the good attentions where it extends from a series of doors that canopy open, right? Making a grand spectacle of the whole affair, flanked by two very shiny and new-looking automatons. He pulls a series of levers that cause the whole platform to elevate above the good intentions, and sure enough, it doesn't take but a second before a shot comes ringing across the field and ricochets harmlessly off of the bubble in front of him. A slight smirk takes Darius Hellstrom's face, right, as he adjusts the megaphone. Now, if you have not seen Darius Hellstrom before, I need you guys to just Vincent Price. He's Vincent Price with a robot arm, is what he is. Like, if you look at his character art, all of his character art is very Vincent Price inspired. But Darius Hellstrom, a little lore to this fellow, if you're not familiar with the Deadlands backgrounds. He is the foremost mind and industrialist of this or any age. He is responsible for the utilization of ghost rock to accomplish more miraculous things than any other scientist. He is on there are Hellstrom industry appliances in every home, right? His reactors are cutting edge, right? He owns the Wasatch Rail Line, right? Which had been, mysteriously absent from the Great Rail Wars, attempting to connect the East and West Coast for a series of nearly 2 years, before suddenly emerging from beneath the Sierra Nevadas, having used the Hellbore, a giant tunneling device of his own design, to literally bore underneath the mountains in secret, while the other rail lines resolve their petty squabbles with one another, right? Bursting onto the scene outside the city of Los Angeles several months ago, they came to a stalemate in the trench warfare you find now. But you should know that everybody knows who Darius Hellstrom is. And when he stands atop the good intentions, his custom-made locomotive, shiny and brass, with all kinds of arcane protrusions and a number of smokestacks that don't make sense to any observer, right? He's a spectacle that gathers rapt attention. You look across the way, and you see hundreds and hundreds of campfires, illuminating dozens of flags. You can make out the banners of the Dixie Rail and Bayou Vermilion to the south, and the Union Blue and Black River to the north. It seems as though in the ensuing months, all of the rival rail lines have decided they needed to stop the Wasatch. It's the closest. They would take months for them to complete their rails. They needed to stop this, and if he wins the Great Rail Wars, it's over, right? He controls the Ghost Rock trade, right? It goes straight from the Great Maze all the way to Salt Lake City, right, where he's already, set up massive factories, right? He effectively wins the West, right? And so, while it is strange to see such an array of folks, allied together, it isn't that strange that they've come together for this common cause. Beyond these campfires and series of trenches and serpentine wire, there are the gathered throngs of, Los Angeles itself. Hundreds of red-robed figures, illuminated predominantly by two giant bonfires. For those of you in the know, these are clearly Grimm's guardian angels, his moral police, known for enforcing both the letter and the substance of the law, with whatever measures they deem necessary. While not commonplace, crucifixions have been known to occur, right? More often than not, it is a demerit system, a branding, and a beating, but, for serious, moral crime, certainly, people have been put to death by these men, and they are assembled in the hundreds. Before them stands a gaunt figure in a black tunic with a priest's collar, his white hair flowing wildly in the wind. You cannot hear what he's saying, but it's clear all of the guardian angels sway in unison to the cadence of his voice as he gestures broadly with a stick backlit by the massive bonfire. This must be the Reverend Grimm himself, rallying the troops for his cause, now certainly aware that some final conflict is upon them. Yeah, go ahead.
This, if any time, I need to focus and observe this from my angelic spirit sight and see if it shows me anything, gives me insight to help my companions.
Like you want to look at the arrayed forces?
Yes, I want to look at the forces. It shows me like fear, a bunch of other stuff.
Do you have that on your character sheet now?
Yeah, it is. Spirit sight.
Thank you. Let me pull this up for the reference.
I need to tell my companions what we're up for.
Yeah, that is fine. There is... well, first of all, you are nearly blinded by Darius Hellstrom. The amount of spiritual energy that circles and swirls around him in a horrific maelstrom is incomprehensible. I would imagine that you almost immediately, impulsively start scribbling in your books unbidden from the amount of just... I mean, it is like nothing you have ever beheld before. Looking across the way, right, there is no less energy emanating from, I guess, it must be the bonfire behind Reverend Grimm, because there is no way that a man could be putting out that much energy. Maybe it's the ritual they're casting, but similarly lit up like a sun, you know, from across the way. The two competing forces of energy writhing and swirling, their coronas reaching up into the sky and lashing back. It is, again, almost too much to behold. For the first time since becoming harrowed, your nose begins to bleed in a thick black tar.
Ugh. I try to hold it as long as I can. Try to glance around to see if there's any Manitous swirling about the region.
I mean, again, like...
it's just too much for me to...
I cannot express how much... I mean, and you are like a stone's throw from Darius Hellstrom right now. It is like staring at the sun during a solar eclipse, you know?
I shut it down. It's just too much. No amount of sunglasses help this.
Yeah, no, there's... I mean, it is literally too much.
Grayson is also going to take a peek behind that veil.
Yeah, are you hunching again?
No, I am using Detect Arcana.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that cheer there, Red Ketchup. See, it's positioned correctly now. Holla! Yeah, that was a successful Detect Arcana. Again, everything lights up. The whole battlefield lights up. Your attention is called to the Reverend Grimm Darius Hellstrom. Strangely, some of the circuitry of the two automatons closest to him glows in a strange network, like you can see little pulses of arcane energy surge through them, right? Which is different than other automatons you've encountered. You get a vague kind of, yeah, there's something going on with them. But these ones, it's pretty clearly, you know, these are a special model or something. And furthermore, there is a group of black-clad women across the way that, you know, you hadn't noticed before, cracking whips, right? And every single time one of them cracks a whip, it lights up in a flash of light, right? That expands outward. And like a, you know, at first it's vibrant, and then it turns into a scattering of dust that seems to coat their associates. Your eye is drawn to their associates, right? Now, where are you from, Grayson?
He is from basically what will become the southern eastern tip of Oklahoma.
Have you had dealings
Red
with
River.
Bayou Vermilion before?
I imagine. I mean, he's traveled halfway across the country at this point.
Why don't you give me a common knowledge roll flat then? Well, this will be your first encounter with the Bayou Vermilion Band. Right. So, at first blush, it's a group of skinny fellas, right? Each one playing an instrument in the kind of funeral procession that you would find in New Orleans. You know, there's tubas and tambourines and snare drums, right? Upon closer inspection, the eye sockets of some of them fellas are glowing in eerie glow, and they have an arcane signature that indicates they have for a minute left the land of the living behind and are now being carried on in some obligate fashion by, something arcane. Not a raise on the arcane roll and a fail on the common knowledge roll. It is not a magic that you are familiar with.
What about the cult roll?
Where was the occult roll? I don't see an occult roll. Oh, that occult roll. No, that sucks too. No, but
I'm too in awe of all of the magic that I'm seeing right now. I can't even.
Despite them being so far away, their tune carries over here, and it fills your soul with a feeling of unease. It's a mournful dirge. Not the kind of thing that should be played before a battle to rally troops, but something sorrowful. Right? It calls to you of a deep foreboding and a longing and instills in you this sense of hopelessness, right? Like the futility of life is here and manifests through the death all around you. And indeed, as you glance down, right, you see that the very mud you're standing on is comprised of both mud and corpses, right? That have just fallen where they've lain and been stacked up in the deep muck of the battlefield. Like, surely, as you glance down, this one doesn't. It doesn't look like you. That's weird, you know. But it does remind you of the fleeting sense of life. And $150, you can't spend $150 if you're dead, you know. All of you get that sense as you hear just the faint tones of the dirge carry over the wind, right? That all of this is fleeting and futile, right? You're not going to be anything but pawns in another person's game, right? And with that, Darius Hellstrom finally clears his throat and gets on some chatting. You all now are witnessing history! And it echoes across the battlefield, right? And people stop what they're doing, right? And turn up and stare. Another bullet planks off the thing. My new friends, it is bloody! It is violent! But it is history! Right, and he pauses for applause, right, and there are some from there, all right, yeah, we're gonna do it tonight, yeah, we're gonna do it. Even the good Reverend Grimm here cannot stop progress, and the so-called Great Rail Wars are over. Mount them they are over. And now people are starting to get into it. Right, he pulls a lever next to him on the Good Intention, and the roof on several of the locomotives that have been driven off the track starts to slide open, and cannons reveal themselves from the top. Alright. After this day, we'll all be able to go on to much more dear, much more important things than this senseless, futile fight against progress. Today we end it. By God, we end it. This is what one last bit of business to finish, and that is our negotiations with the Reverend Grimm. He is not seen fit to negotiate with words, so he will negotiate with science. The science of war and the science of progress. No man can stop the sun from dawning. Not with the faith of darkness. We will force enlightenment upon him. And he pulls another lever. The artillery rocks back clearly, each one of them loading a shell. Right. A couple of the fellows that are clearly part of his retinue start stuffing their ears with cotton batting. We are outnumbered, and we have few friends here. But allow me to assure you, gentlemen, that we are not without resources. I suggest you vacate our camp to the rear and stay clear of the coming storm. Our weapons will not be particularly discriminate, and I would not repay you your help so far with the violence to come. Each of you will be aligned to very specific sections of the front and assigned to very specific objectives that you will need to accomplish, and then remove yourself from the field of fire for these weapons most new and terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, Godspeed on your journeys. Perhaps our paths will cross again another day. And he pulls another lever, and all of the artillery on the trains fires in unison in one barrage, racking another shell and firing again, peppering the field with the assembled guardian angels with a series of explosions or screams carrying on the wind as they rush forth. You hear a whistle, and a fellow with 3 stars on his Hellstrom Industries badge goes, you, and you, with me, and rushes you to the front.
Stay low, Grayson.
As we're moving, I say, brothers, this battlefield is mortal and divine. I've seen it. Forces of heaven and hell are here. We must stay close and be careful.
I mean, that's fact. That's just facts. I'm gonna pull up this combat sheet here. Drag you boys on over here. This might, look familiar. Not to any of these characters, mind you. But to their players, in fact.
Ooh, there's 2 of each of us.
What? What? Oh, hell no.
2 preachers. Oh, I'll take 2 of me.
Johnny Prophet.
Line of sight.
Yeah, line of sight features coming in. Why is everybody... Alright, so that's Harlow Gribbs, that's Preacher, that's Johnny, and that's Johnny. What the shit? Fantasy Grounds Unity. Deleting a Johnny and dragging in a Grayson.
It's also
maybe
worth
that was-
noting I am a,
It's also
Oh, Unity.
yeah, I'm
Shenanigans.
pretending to be the preacher.
I'm fixing it, I swear. We need a young priest and an old priest. Unity's line of sight. I mean, look at that rain, though, folks. I mean, come on. Definitely not an argument for switching to Foundry. All right, so that's Johnny Prophet, allegedly. That's Preacher. That's Harlow Gibbs. So let's give him the Harlow Gibbs token. Ooh, wow. Now we're cooking with grease. And now we just need Grayson in the combat tracker, if he would be so kind. Would you mind, Grayson, getting in there? You really would. You do not. You're like, no. Mm-mm.
How do I put myself in the combat?
You do not. I do. But the
Okay.
combat tracker is totally functioning normally, like you would anticipate a combat tracker to. You know, it's like, oh, I have no problem with adding new combatants to myself because that would be one of my primary functions. And it would be really silly to release a product where that didn't function, right? So I'm sure that's not what's happening. Despite all that, I literally cannot add you to the combat tracker. There? No? No, not at all? Alright, here we go. We're going to reset the whole combat tracker. And we're going to drag everybody to it. We're going to get this right, ladies and gentlemen. It is new technology. Not really, though. It's the exact same technology with 2 features that are... And now it's... No. Oh, my God. Alright, we're going to delete... The NPCs too. This is really fluid. I like that I gave the big narrative build up, and then I was like, "Here we go," and I dragged everybody, and then the token said, "No, that's not how we function." And now Grayson's in the combat tracker. Are you fucking kidding me?
Not that I can see.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Well, I mean, that's all right. Here we go. Grayson. And it's not dragging your tokens over. That's fine. We'll just retoken you. All right, now there's 4 of you. Let's delete all tokens. I love that I spent like a considerable amount of time setting up this encounter beforehand so that this wouldn't happen live on the stream. It really makes my investment of time and money in this software feel valuable. Rank.
Got it. Don't forget about Buster.
How dare you?
I know you got a lot going on.
Yeah, but I shouldn't. That's the problem. It should be. I literally like run through some of this stuff like 3 times before showtime to be like, all right, click a button and it'll work. And then showtime comes and it goes, hey, you know the token setup you did? No, you didn't. All right, and allies. There's Buster. All right, and now I'm going to drag you all to the combat tracker, or from the combat tracker to the map. And it's going to show everybody, yeah. Oh, look at that. You guys see yourselves on the map?
Sure do.
Affirmative.
Hell yeah, now we're cooking with grease. Now hold up before I place these guys. There we go.
Myself,
That's
I don't see anyone else.
well, that's not good.
And I don't even see the map. I just see
Are
myself.
you click on your token?
Oh, what?
Map disappeared.
Yeah, I'm sharing it again
Oh, there
because
it
he
is.
said he didn't see it.
Right. Got it. It's perfect.
Hey, there we go.
Alright,
We're all
that
here.
shortcut. All right, excellent. So it might not look familiar. The last time you were here, you could see forever, Mike. But this time there is, well, some guys over there. You guys. Let me get the read in here because I had another read in prepared and then it ruined everything.
Should I make my vigor roll now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh God. Oh, we're okay.
Hey, no new character art.
Yeah.
So gang,
Yet.
Mr. Gibbs here is sick. And he's not just sick. He has taken the hindrance ailing, and not just the hindrance ailing, but the major hindrance ailing. So some of you Deadlands aficionados are going to be like, oh no, right? But for those of you who aren't familiar with Deadlands, it means he's going to give me a vigor roll all the time, right? Every time a normal vigor roll plus additional vigor rolls, right? And should that vigor roll fail, right? Well, then he dies. Anytime he. Now, he can Benny it, right? But eventually, he's going to critically fail a vigor roll, right? And then he has a set number of, time until I believe the end of the next episode, is it? The end of the next session is when you transpire? The end of that session is when we had to look it up. But he dies, and we have something special planned for him. So he doesn't just die, but something happens. So at any rate, a vigor roll is going to come along eventually.
Ooh,
That's going to give him a timer, a countdown to his demise. That also is going to be a Marshall Pinata, right? So he knows what it is. I know what it is, but we haven't talked about it with anybody else. So it's fun. It's fun. That being said, he passed that one, right? Boom, boom.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, the trait roll, wasn't there? But we passed. It was a pass. That one critical fail. We're all fine. Everything's fine. So I know he's gonna outlive everybody. But all right, again, the Wasatch railhead explodes in fire. Cannons boom. Artillery's going off. Bullets are pinging off barricades. The automatons open up with Gatling guns and start to rake the field. Right, streams of fire going here and there. They're lighting off flares to get targeting going. right? Again, you can see people rushing across the other side, hearing screams, the dirge of the band. It's a cacophony, right? I mean, like, just play one of those World War I audio tapes and you'll get a sense of what this is, right? You can barely see through the fumes and the smoke and hear over the screams of people that are just like, torn asunder by modern technology and weird science and magic. And, I mean, there's just, it's nuts. Right? I mean, you see soldiers of the Union Blue, they're equipped with jetpacks and flamethrowers arcing over the battlefield and spraying people with gouts of flames, while the Wichita witches are chanting in a group and calling for hexes. They're stripping the flesh off of men's bones as they charge forth with their bayonets at the ready, thinking the gals were easy prey. Across from them, Confederate sharpshooters are beneath the flag of the Dixie Rail, just picking people off with ease expertly from their months of conflict and years of experience beforehand, and a legion of shadowy gunmen wearing the red sashes of Bayou Vermilion stand behind them, firing in crude ranks like people from the 1700s, right, using black powder weapons that look rusted and beyond repair. But you are led up into a front with a couple of dozen men in your company, and they are picked off by returning artillery fire until, oh no, you guys are left leaderless alone and pinned down across a narrow stream of blood and filth, across from a group of men that surely seek to end your lives. There are currently an unknown number of assailants on the battlefield, but predominantly there's an old rusted-out automaton, sunk up to its knees now in the muck, that looks like it hasn't moved from that position in months, that swivels back and forth, raking the field with fire. It bears several dents on its rusted exterior, as though it's long been the sentinel guarding this bridge, and indeed, there are several corpses stacked up at its feet and around it, as though it's been successful and fed with ammo by someone this whole time. Despite being rusted out and seeming like it shouldn't function at all, the barrels still spin with a grim lethality as it sends showers of lead over your head, forcing you to seek cover. Everybody, feel free to take a free movement to seek your cover. Yeah, you got
Think if we ask nicely, they'll just let us pass.
We need to get off this damn field before somebody starts losing.
Buster's locked.
Yeah, I'm not sure it lets you. I can't unlock Buster either for some reason. It's stupid because he's your ally. He's your ally, and so I have to control him.
That's cool.
Makes no sense. But yeah, unknown number of assailants from across the way. You hear them shouting orders at one another. Several of them are wearing just the red robes that you associate with the vast majority of the forces that are arrayed against you. Interestingly, that seems to be the most common bond amongst them. They're carrying a hodgepodge mixture of melee and small arms fire. And again, as a tactical assessment, the real antagonist is going to be the automaton, rooted and rusted across the river here, these so many months. But with that, let's roll initiative. Boom, and we're away. One of the guardian angels bearing a sword says, "For Graham!" and charges forward. Oh, that's not terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And is suddenly all up in your face in a scenario that might be horrifically similar to one that played out in this very spot, so many months ago.
I even remember where I died. over there.
Next up, the automaton targets somebody up the hill behind you, raking them with fire. There's half a second of screaming and then silence as they fall into the muck and slide into one of the craters behind you, falling below the oily surface of the brackish water that fills the bottom. The second guardian angel, armed with a sword, is also going to sprint forth. Getting less distance across the bridge, perhaps less confident than his associate. Several of them seem to shuffle in the background, readying themselves. And Preacher is up.
All right. I've got a lot to do here. I'm going to pat Johnny on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, as soon as I figure out which one of these it is, this one. May the good Lord watch over you. And I'm going to, as my first action, cast Deflection.
-2.
Ditto, bro. No.
Hurlalure. Deflection has been most assuredly cast with a raise.
Yep, so everyone
Okay,
gets a -4 to attack you for 6 rounds.
Oh, wow. I'm going to jot that down.
Oh, I'll add it here. Deflection.
I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in one of the versions of the Deadlands, Blessed could not cast beneficial things on Harrowed.
Oh,
True in classic.
shit. That is still...
Not in this, is it?
It is still factually true, yes. You are animated by a domain that is the antithesis of where he gets his... I totally spaced that. Yes, no, weird science still works great on you. But yeah, the miracles specifically are no longer effectual against your person. You can retcon that. You would have discovered that about him by now. That whatever you do, none of your shit seems to work on him.
Okay. Well, just, I guess, put it on me then.
All right. And for some reason, this version of the Savage Worlds rules does not have deflection built in, so I need to grab it from this and then manually change it to a -4, which is less than cool. Come on, guys. There we go, in 6 rounds. All right.
Yep, 6 rounds of that.
Boom. Okay.
And I'll do the same thing I was going to do for myself and give myself quickness.
Alrighty. Give me another Hurlalure roll. Hurlalure. Mm-hmm. Not quite raised out, but, you know.
Getting close.
Yeah, that'll do.
And then, just as some flavor, the dead man in front of me, I will sprinkle a little bull semen vigor potion and say, Lord, please bless this man.
So, in lieu of the holy water that somebody would normally use, in addition to... Well, now that's rough. So...
The only liquid I have on me.
First of all, it's not anointing with oil, kind of, right? Like, no last rites, no holy water. They don't do holy water in baptism, you know. So you just you go, yeah, well, here you go, feller. That's tough titty, said the kitty. Jesus saves, right? But you have technically now fulfilled your contractual obligation to function as a battlefield chaplain. So far, you are the only member of the posse to have earned their keep. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I kind of pigeonholed myself going Baptist. They don't do...
Yeah, no, it's not a lot of that, no. No, their sermons are fiery. They do the
Right.
tongue speaking, right? But not a lot of the ritual,
Yeah, I should have went. In no offense to
I-
anyone, I should have went Catholic because
I-
there's a lot more stuff to do.
I think most of their death rituals involve like potato salad and like,
Right. A church basement. Yeah.
right.
But that is it for me.
Excellent.
I will kind of duck down behind this cover that we're behind, whatever it is.
Is Buster going to do anything?
Buster can hold an action that if a bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
let me see if I can get a hold of this, comes right here,
Yeah.
he will attack them.
All right. Excellent. And it works. You have Buster just sitting there. You're a fearsome, slavering beast.
Yeah, half man, half wolf, I believe.
All right, let's get the. Uh-oh. According to the token spread here, this guardian angel with this rifle's got a bead on you, preacher.
I agree.
Line of sight. Uh-oh. I don't even gotta guess no more. That is nice. It's Colt revolving rifle. It spins one into the chamber. And it's gonna take a pock shot at you from across the way. And the shot goes wide. Not even requiring the deflection. What upon you? Grayson. You hear the sound of somebody having run across the bridge. You don't have a visual ID on him, given you being crouched behind them barrels, but...
So essentially, Grayson has his rifle in hand. He quickly drops one hand into his left. He grabs at something that's under his shirt, which might just happen to be a poker chip, and he mutters something to himself as I cast both deflection and armor upon myself.
Excellent. You said, fuck all of this. Excellent. Deflection is up, not with a raise, but a simple deflection. And armor is up, not with a raise, but armor as well. Adding 2 to your armor and 2 to your to hit. So allow me to drag this deflection over Grayson. Does it have an armor? Oh, it does. That's neat. Okay. I'm less mad at you now. Boom. There you go. And you do not have a duration multiplier, so for 3 rounds each. Fantastic. Johnny Prophet.
All right.
This is back when I had to make my map small for old Fantasy Grounds, so it's got these weird map borders. I don't like it.
Now you can make it as big as you want.
I seriously can't. I can blow them the fuck up. Too big. I can make them too big.
Sniper rifles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm spending this whole round to prepare with Gadgeteer
Mm-hmm.
a power, and then I'm going to hold my action to utilize this power as soon as somebody comes in line of sight that I can attack.
Well, you can't hold your action after using your action.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
True. That's right. Okay, well, I'm going to use my action this round to
All right.
prepare an effect.
Weird science at a -2, if I recall your gadgeteering correctly.
Mhm.
I have lots of variants of it across systems now. Oh, that one won't do it, but a Benny will do it.
Yeah, I'm going to Benny it. So I got a plan. It's just, I need to save my bennies. It's just not.
Yeah,
the will
gadget
of
doesn't
God.
come together. Yeah, no.
Yeah. That's it. I'm hunkering down behind the preacher.
Harlow. Well, you weren't shaking there. That was from when you nearly shot yourself in your first dice roll as a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the first time you've heard the hail again fire and the screams of men dying, calling for their moms.
Indeed. I'm going to take a couple steps out of cover real quick to where I can see that automaton.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot at it. That's the big nasty here.
Yes, sir.
I want to deal with it.
Reaching out with your one hand and touching somebody, hitting the automaton with the raise. Shouldn't be surprised, it is rooted in place in the broadside of a barn. Holy hell.
Very nice.
And it punctures the ghost steel exterior of the front, rattling around inside, clearly dealing some damage to it because a little puff of smoke emanates out.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw that down as well, just to narratively tie it all together.
Uh-oh. Adventure card played. Is it going to propagate? Sometimes they spawn, sometimes they don't. It doesn't. All right. Device malfunctions in some way. Can I drag it out? Let me see here. You gonna? No, it's just gonna say Harlow Gibbs. Thank you. Bravo, Fantasy Grounds. But a device malfunctions in some way. A gun jams, a bowstring breaks. This device can be fixed by 10 minutes work or following a repair roll at a -2. If part of a large device, one system breaks down instead.
So probably one system.
Yeah, one system. Oh boy, let's see. There's the let me see here.
Targeting.
Just gonna bum through my tables here. Is there a built-in
Friend and foe. That's what we want. Yeah.
and glitch? That's kind of it. That's not quite it. Let's see here. Starship critical hits. That's the one, gang. I swear there was a table in here for this. It appears as though I am incorrect, though. Yeah, alright, so, we are going to roll a d4. Right? Even, gonna take out the targeting. Odd, it's gonna take out the gun. Right? So even, it'll hit anything moving. Right? Odd, the gun doesn't function. It's going to uproot itself and use its crazy fucking mechanical claw. That is still covered with the dark crimson remnants of, well, somebody's intestines. Maybe Victoria Valadez Rojas, and then the backhand action has a little Jeremiah Decker on it, and it was rough. This, ladies and gentlemen, automaton, this the one in the same, has killed 4 of my NPCs already. So it is like a super boss technically, narratively.
You mean PCs?
Yes, PCs. Yes. Even better.
I would stab in the eye.
My lord, that's a 10. I said even odd. What did I say? Even was
Targeting?
Targeting, that's right, yeah. So the automaton, on its turn, is going to open up on the closest viable target.
And with that, I'm going to duck back behind Bill.
Yes, sir! Ping! That'll do. Alright, next round. And up first is Johnny Prophet with the Joker. Fate chips auto-distributed to all PCs, and uh-oh, Joker's wild.
Nice. Okay. So.
Oh, no chips left in
Johnny
bag.
is going
No
to
chips
make-
left in bag again, even though I reset. They need to fucking fix that.
It should just be infinite chips.
It really, it's nonsensical. We're not even sitting on that many, and I literally reset the bag.
Today just doesn't seem like a day for science, so it's time for some target practice.
Maybe I should just turn off Joker's wild.
Okay, my movement speed. Okay. I got a pace 6, so I'm going to go 1. Oh. Guardian Angel. I'm going to step out to there.
Oh.
And I am just pull quick draw, my quick draw holster and fire.
Yeah, all right. Johnny Prophet taking a shot with his D4 shooting. Duck.
Time for war.
Duck. Yeah, if anybody from
Fixed.
Fantasy Grounds ever watches this, we need N plus bennies. Like, there's no reason for there to be a cap on it.
All right. 6 hit.
Well, let's see here. More than likely. Because 4 generally, why would it go against his parry? Because it doesn't factor in that you're away from. You got to roll over his token or him in the combat tracker. Remember. But yeah, it hits. Go ahead and roll
I'll
damage.
drag the damage onto him, though. I'll remember that. Oh.
And it hits, but yeah, he deflects it with his sword.
Jake, and I'll
It
finish
says,
my movement.
Grim is with me. Cling. You know, it's very epic.
Yeah, right there next to the pop.
All right. Unfortunately for him, the automaton is unshaken, and he is directly in front of it. The rusted barrels on the gun spin up and rake him. And rake him. Killing him. Raking the guy in front of him. Raking the guy in front of him.
Ooh.
Killing him. Cutting him in half, hell. And what is that? That's 6 and 9. You know what? I am feeling merciful. The Lord is looking out for the preacher. And he has a slight weapons malfunction, and the round he was going to chamber at the remaining target he could see is a dud, because I'm not, yeah.
He can
Right.
see me, but I can't see him.
According to my line of sight, yeah. Your token is visible to me.
That's weird.
Yeah. Give a Benny to Profit. Excellent. Thank you. But let's get these guys good and deaded. Turns out that maybe the Reverend Grimm wasn't, in fact, with them, as they are cut down on the very bridgehead they were attempting to defend, and the gun winds down on the automaton for a time. Guardian Angel with a pistol says, "Oh, hell no," right? And is going to work his way over here and take a shot at the automaton.
Yes.
And it ricochets off of its ghost steel exterior. This Guardian Angel gets the gist, sees that it's finally, after standing here for months, gone haywire, which they'd always been leery of. Nobody trusts these things, you know? And he's going to take a shot with his revolving rifle, which is also going to roll a 1. They're in for a world of hurt, these fellows. Preacher.
Oh, everyone is so far away, and I have a shotgun.
Yeah.
All right, so the first of my action.
With the quickness of the Lord upon you.
Indeed. I'm going to stun the rifle and pistol guy to the right there.
All right.
Hopefully.
Calling down miracles from on high. That's not going to do it at all. No, that is the opposite of a success. Faith.
Roll a vigor roll, right?
Huh?
So you got to roll a vigor roll, right?
On a failed faith roll, I don't. Let me see here. I'm pretty sure on a critical failure, and you need to. What? Come on. Not on a. No, it's just a trade failure. It's not a critical failure. So it fails. It does. There's no ill effect, but it doesn't go off, unless you Benny it, of course.
Yeah, why not? I got Benny's. Try that again. There we go.
Yeah, well, yeah, that'll do it. Mm-hmm. Does it do anything extra on a raise?
You make your vigor rolls at a -2.
Excellent, thank you.
Mhm.
And you said Guardian Angel rifle, the one to the side there.
So these two that are
Oh, both these fellas, pistol and rifle? Okay.
those two.
We will give them same. They got the same vigor. So, all right, first one. The rifle boy, he fails. Second one also fails. A -2, saving the day, and they are stunned. I am pretty sure they have to have stunned in here, right?
They're shaken.
Shaken. Okay, that's fine.
And then with my remaining action, I'm going to move out so I can actually see something.
Oh, that was the wrong.
How far away is that guy? Would you say he's in my first range thing?
The dice would have to say the first range.
Okay, so if I just target him and roll on him?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take a
13. You're just outside.
Will it do it automatically or no?
Yeah, it'll count that. Yeah, the medium range. Yeah. It won't. You'll have to roll the dice you've assigned for the range for the damage, but.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and you hit. Yep.
Medium range. Could have done better than that.
Yeah, no, splashes against that ghost shell exterior.
And I'll come down here with the homies and duck down.
Yep, yeah, that makes sense. Buster doing anything in particular?
Both those sword guys on the bridge are dead now, right?
Yep, they were mowed down. At least as far as you can tell.
Yeah, I think he'll just stay where he's at.
Guardian Angel with a pistol gets unshook. Can he see anybody? Oh, no, he can see Prophet and Buster, but he thinks Prophet is the threat. He's going to level a shot with his cold lightning there. Oh, Lord of Mercy. Letting off hit. Medium range. Okay, so I was going to say it's doing the math right there. It's like 8 should have been erased, but it wasn't. Yeah, you get struck with a errant bullet from a cold lightning 38 caliber. But you are unharmed. Goes right through your nice hat, knocks it into the muck. When you look down into the muck, you see the face of, well, looked like he must have been a gunslinger a few months past, right? He's got a beard and, weathered gunslinger clothing, right? An old revolver still clutched in his hand that's long since rusted into a fused husk. His finger still curled on the trigger. The horrific nature of his wounds still kind of apparent, but he's well now buried in the muck of the battlefield.
Poor sod.
Yeah, you glance a little further out of the way, and you see a trail of moldering entrails leading to the heap of a young gal. She couldn't have been but 20. All right, dressed a bit of a tomboy. All right, still slouched over in the position she must have fallen in. None of these people have been given a burial proper on account of being, under the line of fire this whole time.
Sickens me. We need to end all war. Doubles my resolve.
Harlow Gibbs, you up? Fire ringing across there. You saw Prophet take a bullet through the hat,
Go ahead and pop around this side now as to not be predictable and get shot.
Right.
And take another shot at this nasty little thing here.
Hits with a rage, just blam! Grape shot. What's grape shot doing,
Hey.
Very nice.
Plenty. Yeah, no. Another wound rings through, this time right in the brain pan, right? The thing rattles around and fizzes, clearly, on its last leg.
And I'm going to duck back behind cover.
That makes a ton of sense. Guardian Angel Pistolier is going to walk right up to the automaton and give it the old coup de grace. Close parrot combat my ass. Oh, here, let me actually toss those there. I'll give it the boosted. Oh my goodness. Wow. Puts his gun right up to the back of the thing's head, squeezes the trigger off. It goes dink! Right? And the thing swivels around and in one movement of its rusted claw cleaves him in two. That was dumb. I was just, oh yeah, you son of, take that, boom, dink, slam, you know. He doesn't even have a moment to realize how stupid he was. And the Guardian Angel Rifleman cowering down behind the rusted cannon. It's just gonna, he racks another one in the revolving Colt and goes, okay, maybe from here actually. And fires at the automaton. That almost came up a 1 again. I was like, what is going on, guys? 2d8 AP2 hit the automaton there, and it's just garbage dice. Yeah, I know. Still punches through a rusty patch of armor, but doesn't hit anything critical. He ducks back down again there. It should be said, anybody you guys get eye sight on that isn't the automaton is currently in 2 cover. They're currently crouching over there behind their various accessories. So bear that in mind when plotting targets. Not that you should be shooting anything outside of the Tin Man here at this point.
Yep. Moving over 2 shots at the Tin Man.
Mm-hmm.
And he is already targeted.
Boom! First shot, the pump shotgun hits.
And I'm in short range now. Yeah, keep him coming.
Excellent. Boom! Another one racks out, finally finding something of substance. It's really smoking now. Sparks coming out, gear clicking.
I pumped the shotgun.
Mhm.
The casing burns my cheek because it's a left-handed
Shut
shotgun.
the fuck up.
No, I love it. And I fire again.
Man, I was like 10 hours into your character art, really, and I just took a shotgun, like a 1800 shotgun, right, that they, of course, had the other way, and I go, well, that doesn't work for the art, so I just mirrored it, right, and then I'm drawing it, and I'm like 10 hours in, I'm doing the like, literally the light work on your shotgun, and I go, wait a minute, huh? Oh, you son of a bitch, yeah, but hits,
Absolutely
yes.
Beautiful artwork.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, wow. So this is a bit of poetic justice, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Several months ago, this very automaton killed Mike Bowser's character, Jeremiah Decker, in and we played for months and months and months with Jeremiah. I mean, he longer than the run on the Preacher so far. We played through even. So congratulations, man. That's like full circle. It's like it's like Lucas directing the prequels, Oh, why did it not oil out? It's supposed to have the oil blood stain. God, all right. Oh, does it? Okay, good.
Really
oh, it's tiny. Fantasy Grounds, get your shit together. Okay. At any rate, fantastic. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Feels good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to move Buster directly south of me.
Yeah, all right.
And then that's it for me.
Preacher, is that thing gone?
Yep. It's a pile of bolts and oil now.
There are still rounds going off, but the gun's not pointed at anything, and they seem to be going off internally, like you lit off the magazine,
Still a couple of them old boys over there, though.
Yes, sir, there are. And Preacher, it looks like you have not nosed up far enough to avoid Guardian Angel with a pistol. That boy you shook earlier with your movement of faith swings around the corner here and goes, I got you dead to rights, boy. Oh, wait. I got you dead right, old man. It's hazy here. I had the insult prepared before I rightly laid eyes on the target, if I'm being entirely accurate. But,
Wayne advertised.
right, yeah. He fires off there. And, deflection. Yeah, and God says no. Pling, and the bullet just mushrooms in front of you and falls down. You go, what in the hell? Harlow, you're up.
All right. I'm just gonna. Do I have to actually see anybody to taunt them, or can I just throw it out at someone I know's there?
I think since you have eyes on a person previously, you can just assume they're still in shouting distance of you. Yeah.
Sure. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out at. I guess this guardian angel with the pistol, since he took the shot, and I think he's the closest, not being able to see him. So
Right.
I'm gonna yell at him and be, "We just killed that metal son of a bitch. What are you made out of? Run now, or you're gonna end up like them." Not great, but
Not great, but let's see here how he feels about it. They are a religious bunch, but oh no, he doesn't feel great about it. In fact, shit. Taunt test. He is. Is he shaken or is he distracted and?
let me see. Taunt.
Pulling it up here. It's been a minute since somebody has regularly used it. I'm clearly going to need to get on lock.
Indeed. Either distracted or vulnerable.
That's the one. So you pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Toa.
I guess. Sorry, I'm having to find my way through the rules. What does distracted do if you don't?
Yeah, no problem. Let me pull up the effect here. So distracted gives them -2 to trait rolls, and vulnerable, makes them vulnerable there.
We'll go ahead and give them distracted. I feel like that's more thematically appropriate.
All right. I wish there was an easier way to navigate that, pistol boy, but all right, excellent. That's what it is. It's the race. Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guardian Angel with the rifle shaken status is removed. Wow, and he can see Preacher from there?
Yeah,
What?
it seems like everyone can see Preacher no matter where Preacher is.
Let's see here.
It's fine.
No, he can't from
I
certain
had the best
positions.
shot
He's
of
just got to be like, he can see Preacher and Prophet. You know, he's going to shoot Prophet. Racks around in the revolving round. Prophet still isn't nutted up close enough to that cover. And it goes broad in the chaos of the battlefield. Grayson, you're up.
Well, Master Gibbs, what do we do here?
Get the hell out as soon as we can.
Well, don't we got to go across that bridge?
That appears to be the make of it.
All right, so Grayson steps out, sees he sees all kinds of people. I think I'm gonna try and go for that guardian angel with the rifle.
Yeah. Oh.
Holy shit.
That is a critical fail. Fortunately, there is nobody adjacent to you, in between your line of sight there friendly. Like, you can't even shoot the dog for once. But
Did you happen to notice my weapon?
Yeah, what exactly are you shooting there?
What the fuck? He said, what the fuck? Laser machine gun, my ass. No wonder you're encumbered this whole time. You're carrying nonsense. Go ahead and give me your
gun, my rocket launcher.
Right.
My Barrett 50. Leave all those alone.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you give me a proper shooting roll? I'm like, wait. No, he doesn't have a laser minigun. He just pulled a bunch of shit from the Sci-Fi Companion because I got the Smith & Robards tie-in. Alright, are you going to shoot a real gun now?
The laser minigun's a real gun.
Alright.
Damn,
There
that
we go.
sucks.
Misses with the normal Winchester 73.
I'm gonna Benny that. I think.
Yeah.
-3. Dang.
Are your clothes like equipped properly, or
If you drop the
that
laser
might be
machine
part of
gun,
it?
And probably if he wasn't carrying
Yeah.
a rocket launcher and a laser machine gun, things would be going a little differently
That
for
might
the
help.
dice now. You know,
I took all the weights off of it.
took all the weights off of them. My weightless laser machine gun. Yeah, you're on. You need to be on Friday night.
He's wielding his bloody Gatling gun right now.
All right, let's go, and we'll assume you don't have the encumberment penalty. But you might not meet the strength for the Winchester 73, actually, if you have strength 4. So,
yeah,
Really?
it says minimum
Yeah.
strength penalty.
yeah, there
Okay.
is a min strength on it. So, you will
All
get
right,
the negative
fine.
1.
So that would have been no, it still would have been yeah. I spent a Benny.
Okay.
I'll try that again.
Roger, roger. There we go. Hits the Guardian Angel, leveling the Gatling rifle in your general direction with a real gun this time. He didn't just go out and go, pew, pew, it's a laser gun, guys, and only shakes him. But we're getting down to the end, and we got bennies. You know, reroll that damage?
I'll go ahead
Yeah.
and spend it. I'll spend a Benny.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Striking and killing him. Falls down,
And I
very dead.
jump back behind cover.
I would recommend it. It's funny how the line of sight suddenly makes people mindful of cover. They're like, oh shit, yeah, that's something I should be in most of the time, huh?
Yeah, it's like it exists now.
Right? It's not just some abstract. Arlo with the Joker.
Well, how'd that go?
It went.
Hopefully it'll go some more here. I'm gonna jump out from cover, take a multi-action.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's that same boy. I was gonna taunt again, but he's still distracted. I won't.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I am. No, I'm going to. Multi-action. First, I'm gonna taunt
Mm-hmm.
and say, I'll warn you, boy, now I'm gonna fill your head if you don't run. Which is...
That's pretty good. You do beat him there. Vulnerable this time, I take it, since he still
I
has...
think vulnerable would be appropriate.
Yeah, he's like, wow, man, you talking mean line of shit, mister.
And then...
One second, let me get
I'm
this.
going to...
There you go.
Over there.
fill his head.
Yeah.
Whew.
You might have get shot with that pistol round offhanded. Boom, yeah. As you hit him with a raise.
Jeez, man.
Oh my, what in the mother of God? His personality gets splattered all over the battlefield behind him. His jawbone spins idly in the air. His teeth get embedded in the torso of the fellow behind him as he stutters for a second, bits of gray matter dripping off his face. Now, my God, 7 wounds though? Like, was that necessary?
So, what happened back in camp? Was that
Right.
on purpose?
Yeah, what the shit was that for? Yeah, you almost shoot yourself in the leg and then you're like, what's that? That's about 50 meters, test for wind. Boom! Like,
Yeah. I'll duck back behind cover and say, God told that dumb son of a bitch back at camp that I could shoot this damn thing.
we're not fucking around apparently. Preacher, you're up.
Oh man. Well, that kills what I was gonna do.
Oh, apologies.
Still one of those boys left.
Yeah, I don't think I can reach him with a sword though. I was gonna go all sword.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. But
I mean, if you don't, that's my next round.
I'll basically do that with a shotgun, I guess. So as my first action, I'm going to.
He
run.
was vulnerable too, so it was 7 wounds.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I go 10.
Yeah. full on run. Remember, you can just hit that run button and it'll map for you.
Oh, there's no good. I guess right there.
Yeah, -2. He's crashed on that cannon there, but
Yeah.
if you're shooting him with a shotgun, that'll just balance. Yeah.
Shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, yep, sorry, son. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my God.
Shotgun close range with a raise.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Oh, just a single wound. Enough to do it, but I really, I expected I was going to have to come up with something more flourish than Jawbones flying through the air, but no, he just drops.
Yeah, 2 2s and a 3 will do that too.
All right. And with that, you guys appear to have cleared this small section of the front. The battlefield is coalescing around you, and in the chaos, you see a gentleman in a bowler hat run up, carrying a very bizarre-looking Hellstrom rifle, and wearing a Hellstrom Industries armband with 6 stars. And Hellstrom himself has 7, right? And 6 is the number 1 of his subordinates. And he skids to a halt behind the cover, and he says, I need all of you to come with me. I'm Lacey O'Malley, and I'm in control now. We've got to get into the city proper.
Bless you, O'Malley. We'll follow.
And I don't think Lacey O'Malley and the preacher ever crossed paths.
I think we
did they? It's just for like
time.
1 second. He's going to give you the side eye because your appearance has changed drastically. And then he is going to continue onward. So.
Pull my hat just a little lower to shade my eyes.
Right.
He doesn't come from my neck of the woods. I wouldn't recognize him.
No, he is a recent. He is a reporter with the Tombstone Epitaph that is here as a war correspondent that was supposed to cover just the emergence of the Wasatch Rail initially from the Sierra Nevadas. Hellstrom invited him for a big secret, and then, that was what it was. But since, this has turned into a conflict stretching for months, has been here the whole time, typing out articles for the Epitaph. Let me pull this up here real quick. Definitely need to get used to a couple of these new idiosyncrasies with Unity. It's going to say, I need your help, plain and simple. There's an old friend of mine, Sam Hellman, that's lost in Los Angeles, and I think he might be in trouble. And by trouble, I mean mortal danger, of course. It's Grim and all his flock. They're out there fighting. It might be our only chance to get him. I cannot do it alone. And I saw you guys take out the automaton, and you look like a grisly lot, so you're with me.
Being a fellow reporter with the Seattle Times, I am at your service.
Gets me off of this damn field, I'm with you. But I'm following you because it's convenient, not because of your armband there.
Whatever it takes, mister. I need help, and I'll be in your debt for it. Lacey O'Malley of the Tombstone Epitaph, maybe you heard of me. Right on the page 13. At any rate, we need to get headed. There's no time. His bullets whiz overhead again. You can see a front of the Bayou Vermilion and their red sashes start to saunter over. And you duck low and head into Los Angeles proper. It is a ghost town. Most of Grimm's followers have joined him in the battle, and those too old, young, or infirm to fight have been ordered to stay inside their homes until the conflict ends. Indeed, most of the residences and businesses you pass are dark and boarded up. Right? Some loose artillery shells have fallen here and there, and it bears evidence of shelling. Not indiscriminate, but just the incidental nature that happens with the malfunctions of weird science from time to time. Distant booms and rumbles punctuate the distant battle. There's really distant twice there? Come on. While flashes of light play upon the haze of the southern sky. Pet peeve. Come on. as you wander through the streets, you hear a group of voices coming your way, and Lacey O'Malley bids you to duck low. As you crouch behind a series of crates in a dimly lit alley with the smell of cordite and ghost rock thick in the air, it looks like the voices you heard are some of the wounded returning from battle. Moments later, a wagon drawn by 2 mules emerge from the gloom, and you hear the whining of dogs. 15 guardian angels escort a wagon that's completely full of a heap of something, but it's under a cover and it's impossible to tell exactly what. Whoa, murmurs the driver, and the wagon stops uncomfortably close to the spot where you're crouched. 2 angels leap down, leaving a woman to observe from atop the wagon. She stands out from the other guardian angels in that she's dressed in robes that are far cleaner and pristine white, with the exception of the splashes of crimson that dot the hem and some about the torso. Her hair is pulled back into a severely tight bun, and she says not a word. "Thank the Lord it's you, Sister Andrea," exclaims some of the walking wounded. We thought you were goners, can you?" Abruptly, one of the angels knocks the man senseless with a blow to the face. All 8 of the red-robed enforcers surround the wounded like a pack of wolves, beating him with clubs. "Help! Help!" shouts the man in terror. "Please, God, no! Don't take me there! Anywhere but there!" His pleas go silent with a wet thud, and soon there's only the sound of wood clubbing meat for a few seconds. Then the guardian angels drag the unmoving bodies of the men over to the wagon, shooing away the dogs, and toss them into what appears to be a growing pile of humanity. The woman in white looks around once, eyes hard as flint, satisfied that she wasn't observed, and the wagon clatters off into the night as Lacey O'Malley's mouth hangs open in stunned disbelief.
I rip off my armband.
I know what I do.
Yeah, what do you do?
Keeping in mind the faces and clothing of those that was just in the previous battle, we need a disguise, and I think I've perfected it from back in Clearwater Creek. And I smile and start mixing up some potions for everyone. As I'm going to shift you all into guardian angels.
Well, we are going to save that horrific idea for next week, because we have come to the end of this week's session, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching the Battle of Los Angeles. We appreciate each and every one of you and your eyeballs here at the League of Gentlemen Explorers. And the best part about you is that for every one of you, I get 2 eyes. Right. Well, I mean, I can't say that definitively. Some of you could, be listening, right? Some of you could just have 1 eye, right? But statistically speaking, right, I'm likely to get 2 eyes per viewer, and that's fantastic. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for following us on Twitter. Thank you for being a part of our Discord community. Thank you for your bits, your follows, your subscriptions. Go and check out the video on demand on our revamped YouTube channel. This will be on there 48 hours from now, along with all of our content moving forward in sexy new playlists with splash screens. Talk about us on the media, social, share us with your friends. If you like what you see here, it's only going to get better, and a huge part of that is each and every one of you. So thank you again. From the bottom of my heart is a labor of love, and you guys make it fulfilling. So from the League of Gentlemen Explorers to yourself, may your dice always roll hot. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Is the start going to work? It's not really.